Okay, sharing. All right, just in case anyone wants to see this on YouTube Live, can't do it on Discord. There we are. All right, so let me do a couple of things. It's been a busy week, that's for sure. All right. All right, so let's get started. So every week we gather here to talk about Rovies and the play to earn or distributed play to earn game in Decentraland, and in the future the Rovi Matrix. We always gather every single week. We have good old Pope giveaways, we have NFT giveaways, and if you missed last week or the week before, no, it was last week. No, sorry, Green Schiffer and Trey Waters was last week. The week before was when we dropped the news that we sort of halted sales of Rovies, closed that gate, and then and then we unleashed the Rovi Oracle. And if you're a Rovi Oracle, you're gonna get all the subsequent airdrops, every single meta out there you're gonna get. So I think we did an announcement. If you check the announcement channel for Rovies, there's a list. Corv posted it. Check out that list. Make sure your ETH address on there if you believe you're a Rovi Oracle. And if not, make sure you let us know, either Oscar, myself, or Iman. And yeah, so double check to make sure you're a Rovi Oracle, because I mean, all the metas, that's a big deal. So now we posted this article that described the economics of the Rovi game. And then this article here kind of goes into a little bit more detail as to what we're talking about. Yeah, let me link that to you, Patrick. It is in the announcements. All right, here we go. Okay, posting that in the chat. There we are. That's the list. Yeah, make sure you're on there, Patrick. All right. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with this Rovi game. So first of all, any questions? Did you guys get a chance to read this article here? Let me post that article. If you didn't get a chance to read it, it goes pretty in depth. We go into the entire economic system and incentives to deploy, host, and support this whole distributed game, because this is a new thing that we're doing. If you're new to this space, we have a play to earn game that is completely distributed to the community, and so that distribution sort of acts like nodes in this ecosystem. And this ecosystem with a network of these nodes is the game itself. And so you are playing the game and you're interacting with other community members. And as a result of hosting these nodes, you're going to earn Rovi tokens. In this case, the token is called Gears, and it's the short version is GRZ. And so anytime you're deploying one of these metas into Decentraland specifically, and in the future the Rovi Matrix, you are going to have challenges that you have to meet. And if you meet those challenges, you're going to earn these Gears tokens. And as players, there's several ways to earn this particular cryptocurrency. And so, for example, the way to kind of kick off this game is you have to spend some ETH to acquire this Rovi, and then potentially Rovi owners can play the game or delegate these Rovi assets to other players. And this presents like a huge opportunity for the owners, because if you have, let's say, 10 Rovies and you need to meet all these challenges for the day, it's going to be hard for one person to go and play Rovies all day, every single day, to meet all these challenges, right? So it's important to be able to delegate some of these responsibilities to other players. And as you delegate, the person who is playing on your behalf is earning 60% of the earnings, and then you're getting, as the owner, 40%. And so this presents huge opportunity for any Rovi owner to earn this cryptocurrency. So once that's started, there's essentially three activities, right? There's a smart metas, and then there's these Rovi metas, the free to play. So these represent basically two halves of the game. And so one half is for really the Rovi owners to move assets from off chain to on chain with the transporter, the reinforcers to upgrade your Rovis. Remember how we have these little elements that you can manipulate as a Rovi owner and kind of contribute to its growth and upgradability of the Rovi itself. So you do that through the reinforcer, fabricators for the weapons, replicators to add more Rovis into the ecosystem, right? And then the assimilator is focused on the accessories. And so all of these require gears token, right? You can see this in the diagram. So you're going to have to play, earn XP, gears, and then the loot is just references the metal hedron and the power cores. And so in some cases you need the loot, in other cases you don't. So these are sort of the requirements to interact with these. And so as the owners spend to upgrade their Rovis, it improves the Rovi's earning potential. And you are essentially, you as the owner are contributing to this ecosystem because you're spending gears. Whoever is hosting these assets earn a portion of those gears. And then you have this reinforcing ecosystem of people who are trying to upgrade the Rovis. Other people are hosting the game itself in the land, and then you share revenue as a game owner. All right, let me see if there's any questions here so far. Tranquilo, will it be easy to find people that I can delegate my Rovis to? Yeah, so we've seen examples of this, and there's definitely ways to do it without a kind of like a platform, but there's ways to do it better with a platform. So we're going to be facilitating that through MetaZone simply because we expect the metaverse to be a host of different play to earn activities. And we need to make it easy for asset owners to be able to delegate to players. And so there's going to be a full dashboard and everything. And so you'll be able to do that from the MetaZone platform. Let's see, Greensphere, yeah, should be there. Literally people lining up for ICE delegations. Yep, exactly. So if you look at the really good example, Decentral Games and ICE Poker, there's tons and tons of people always requesting to be delegated to. And they have a very solid ecosystem in that part of Decentraland. And so in some cases, we're taking that and sort of modifying it because this whole game is going to be distributed not only into Decentraland, but also the Rovi Matrix, where people can play to earn with just their cell phones, right? They don't have to be required to have a desktop or anything into Decentraland. All right, so Green Chauffeurs, the Discord is pretty good. Too, lots of community members that are active. Yep. All right. Ice Poker's cool. Earns a good. Yep. Yeah. Ice Poker is a very, very good example. Their example is sort of like a kind of evolution to what Axie Infinity did. I think one question for you guys to think about is, should we have this Gears token be an infinite supply or a cap supply? Because in the grand scheme of things, you know, are games going to last forever? Like, really, is this game going to be available 50 years from now? I mean, who knows, right? The probability is, it seems very unlikely. So does it make sense to cap the token so that at some point, like, instead of burning tokens, you're recirculating the tokens into the ecosystem and then see what happens? Or what do you guys think? Infinite or capped? Greensphere, I think tokenomics should be similar to DCL. Okay, interesting. Tranquilos, what is the difference delegating a 58% flawless Rovi versus delegating 18%? Okay, so the difference between 58 and 18%, think of it as it represents the quality of your Rovi. So you have a higher probability of winning these battles or being more efficient with we'll talk about what lube is here. But you have a higher probability of being more efficient with the assets that are regenerated on a 24-hour basis. So the higher the quality, the more efficient your Rovi is, the more potential chances you have to continue meeting those challenges. And if you don't meet those challenges, you run out of this off-chain asset called lube then you can't win any, or you can't earn any cryptocurrency. So you have to come back in 24 hours and try again. And so the more efficient, the more optimized your Rovi, the higher the probability is that you get to withstand, battling in the PvE, battling in the PvP. Let's see. I look at it like force remaining. There was a lot of damage in the crash landing. Not all Rovies were so lucky. Yeah, that's exactly right. So like when you have like this distribution of Rovies, and we have the range from 0% to 100%, not all Rovies are equal, right? But we give you a chance to get the right accessories, the right weapons to kind of mitigate some of the deficiencies that some Rovies have. And so it creates sort of like the more quality of the Rovi, the more valuable, and it just introduces new elements to the economics. Hey, what's going on, Che? Thank you for joining. All right. So so stay tuned for the Pope. We're going to be distributing Popes here in a few minutes, and then we're going to be giving away 3 Rovi Accessory NFTs. So, okay, Greenshifter. However, you are able to raise a percentage by upgrading your Rovi. That's right, power cores and metal hedrons. All right, so let's kind of go through this diagram a little bit. So we were talking about smart metas, the transporter, reinforcer, fabricator, replicator, assimilator. These metas here on the right and the metas here on the left, these are being airdropped to the Rovi oracles. So if we go back a couple of weeks ago, you need a single transporter, the 5 different superchargers, and 3 Rovies. And so if you're one of those people, you're going to get every single asset here for free, just completely airdropped. And so you would be, I think the list has 71, if not 73, something like that, Rovi oracles. And so there's 73 nodes. Really, there's really more nodes in a sense, because not all 73 people are going to have a LAN to deploy on, so it's going to be completely distributed to more than 73 LANs, if you will. So you'll be able to jump into the game, be able to locate these different metas that you need to access to. Like, let's say a Rovi owner needs to upgrade their Rovies, they're going to have to go and find a reinforcer. Could be on their own land, could be on somebody else's land. And then players are going to want to search for PvE arenas and PvP arenas, and then spend, like, as you deplete your energy, you can go to a supercharger, spend lube to supercharge, and then continue playing until you run out of lube, and then you're out of luck until 24 hours. So let's see. So like I said, on the right side is more about the Rovi owner spending tokens to upgrade, add accessories, craft wearables, things like that to improve their Rovi. And on the left, that's the free-to-play part. So as long as you're delegated a Rovi, you can go to a PvE arena and start battling the glitches. And so we do talk about glitches here in the article. So you battle these glitches, and then as long as you meet the challenges for that particular day as a Rovi operator, then you're able to earn cryptocurrency. And the harder the challenge, the more cryptocurrency you earn. And then the same goes with the PvP. And so you sort of have to make decisions here, because you have X amount of loot or lube, and then you can go into spend that in PvE or spend that in PvP, depending on what you need. Maybe you just want to mine cryptocurrency, and you go into the PvP stadium. Or maybe you need to mine the loot, right? You need metal hedrons, you need power cores, and each one would give you an allocation of the gears token, again, if you meet those challenges. All right, let me see if we see any other questions here. All right. Bobalorian, infinite supply could stop people from dumping tokens. I'd want a cap supply. That's a tough one. Yeah, I totally agree. So, but here's the thing. Projects that have an infinite supply and they don't really have a use for the token, that's when the dumping really occurs. But in this case, if you're an owner and you're like amassing these gears tokens because you have like a pretty sizable guild and you're delegating all your Rovies, you're going to be collecting a lot of gears token. But you need gears token to upgrade your Rovies. If you don't like keep up pace, somebody with an upgrade Rovi is just going to steamroll everybody. And so there's very little incentive to sell the token at that point. And then the players earning gears, that's their reward. I mean, it's really up to them to like collect gears to acquire these assets so that they're not sharing their work, right? They're sharing 40% of their effort to the owner. And so it's going to be up to them to keep and collect gears to potentially acquire these assets. So yeah, I think we did a pretty good job with distributing the value that's generated by this game to the community. And it's important to understand this part because it has to be sustainable. And I think with a capped token, we're able to do that. With an infinite token, you can still do the same, but I don't know. It just doesn't. I feel like we need to experiment with a capped token. I feel like that's what's needed here, and it could totally be wrong. This could totally require 2 tokens, for example. This could require an infinite supply, but I feel like we need to experiment with a capped token. All right. Okay. Looks like you guys are following. Pretty good. All right. So, all right, let's continue this. So we go back to the PvE and PvP stadium. Let me check the time. All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, so going back to these, the stadium and the arena. Again, these are completely distributed, and there's going to be challenges for each one. And then so here's the crazy part. Here's where the new stuff begins, right? So we're sort of, if you're in the PV, or if you're in the play to earn space, you've seen some of the tokenomics. There's nothing really new about this, right? The new part comes as the owner of the supercharger, or the PvE or the PvP or any of these metas. Each one would have its own challenges that the owner would have to kind of achieve. Like a simple one would be the reinforcer, where get 10 people to upgrade their Rovis today, right? Potentially that could be a hard thing to do or an easy thing to do. We really don't know. But let's just say that's one of the challenges, and let's just say that it's a hard one. And so if you're able to achieve that, then you earn the allocation of the Gears tokens that you can claim at the end of the day. And so and then I think there's elements of upgradability on these assets as well. So think about this. You have the reinforcer, and you're meeting your challenges, and you're collecting all these Gears token. You can spend Gears to upgrade this reinforcer so that you could earn a multiple onto your earnings. And man, there you are. We are live, by the way. I don't know if you can hear us. Man, what's up, dude? Yeah. We are live, dude. All right.
What's up?
Hold on. Let me share my screen with you. That way you can kind of jump into this.
Okay, yeah, please do.
So yeah, I'm talking about the document that we wrote and posted yesterday or this morning. Let me share my screen here. All right, here we are. All right, can you see that, Iman?
Yeah.
All right, say hello to everybody.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm late, dude.
No, you're good, dude. I know you got like really important stuff to do. So,
yep.
All right. So I was just explaining to them kind of the value of like the different metas, and I got to the point where I was explaining the part where, as an owner of these metas, you're able to have its own challenges. Like one of the challenges for the reinforcer would be like get 10 people to upgrade their Rovi today. We don't know if that's going to be a hard challenge or an easy challenge, but we'll find out once we start testing these things out. But point is, if you achieve that challenge, you are allocated your portion of Gears independent from whatever's happening with the players and their ability to earn and mine tokens in the PvE and the PvP. Does that make sense, guys? Because this gets like into the weed of things in the sense that not only are the players playing to earn, but the owners of these assets are also sort of playing to earn. They're hosting to earn, if you will. So yeah, that's kind of the new thing about all of this. Clear as mud. Not every boomer. Appreciate that. All right. So next was so we got host challenges, and then we got player challenges, and of course, if you have a PVE arena or the stadium, or maybe even the supercharger, each of those have its own challenges independent from the player challenge. Like a player challenge would be like kill 100 glitches today, right? That would be easy. But an owner of the arena would be like have players eliminate 1,000 glitches today. Like that might be easy, that might be hard, who knows? But those are the types of challenges. And then if that challenge is met at that particular arena, you earn those tokens. And then a player challenge could be kill 100 kill 100 glitches in 5 different PVE arena locations. And so you have to travel to each one, go in there, spend some lube, kill some glitches. So yeah, so we have tons. I mean, there's challenges up the wazoo here on the ability to earn for everybody, hosting, players, everything. Any thoughts so far, I-Man?
Not yet, dude. I can't chime in yet. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so let's see. Dirty Bird, daily challenges equals more active players. Yep. Tudorica, so most of them are conditioned by the fact you need land to deploy the metas. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you do need land. And so that's the kind of the value part about the Rovi oracles, that they have like these assets, and then you don't need land to deploy. Like you personally, as a Rovi Oracle, don't need Decentraland land to deploy. All you need is to collaborate with a landowner and then deploy those assets to that landowner, and all that can be done through the platform. And then if you're a Rovi Oracle without land and you have to collaborate with the landowner, well, those Gears tokens get distributed between you, the meta owner, and the landowner. So it's a fair share because both parties are needed. They need each other. All right, so let's see. Grishfer, there needs to be a feedback loop from the host back to the treasury and the marketplace. Yeah. So I think one thing that we don't show here is a portion of the transactions that occur go back to the treasury. And this goes back to the idea of infinite token versus a cap supply. A cap supply would recirculate the token. So in this case, a portion of the fees goes to the treasury. But an infinite supply, you would burn the tokens instead. So I think going back to one of the earlier comments about a DCL sort of economic system, DCL used to burn tokens. And I think an update was made where DCL now started putting those tokens back into the treasury. And I agreed with that. I think burning tokens is a bad idea only because you're burning value. I mean, and the idea is that if you burn tokens, the total value of the token itself will go up. But I mean, it's really not the case when your burn rate is so little compared to the entire supply. All right, let's see. Greenschfer. Yeah, so I totally agree with Greenschfer's thought there. P-Dub, does Rovi team get a cut from the Rovi meta fees or split between landowner and meta owner? Yeah, there's a portion of Gears when spent goes to Rovi which will go back into the treasury. So yeah, so Corvus saying, yeah, there's great text at the bottom, and that's what's here. It's kind of hard to see. But I definitely recommend you guys to read through it. It's not a difficult read, but it just describes all the pieces in this huge puzzle here. All right. So yeah. Okay. So now let's go through. So we talked about the gameplay. We talked about the how important the hosts are. Oh, P-Dub. There's so yeah, there is a portion does go back to. It used to say DAO Treasury Metazone /Rovi, but in gray here it says a portion of Gears when spent goes to Rovi, which will go back into the treasury. So in some extent it does go back to the Rovi team, but I think we're kind of leaning towards making it go back to the treasury so that Gears holders can decide what to do with it. Feed the devs. Yeah, so think about this. So if it requires like, let's say 71 nodes or 73, whatever the number is. That's a pretty good number, but it could be bigger. And so those who come in later can purchase these assets and purchase obviously additional Rovies, and then that would kind of fund the development of everything as purchases come in. But part of this value kind of ecosystem is once these assets are purchased, you can use them to deploy and mine the Gears token. So yeah, this is quite the economic system of support, if you will. All right, let's do this. For the Popeaholics, kind of like getting an itch right now, let's do the Pope giveaway. All right, just checking a couple things. All right, let me type this out so that way I don't get all these pings. All right, we're going to DM this bot, and all right, the password is, okay. All right, so DM the MetaZone bot. The password is tokenomics, all lowercase, and then you'll get the good old Pope. All right, let me know if you guys receive it. You guys have to go through a verification process, and then I think verify twice, and then you'll be able to get the Pope. And I was reading the forum posts on, and that reminds me of another thing on POAP. Those guys, they're going crazy with these like cartel members, that's for sure. And so they're putting a lot of restrictions. As a matter of fact, last week we only had 50 Popes to give away. Today we have 100, so there's a little bit of wiggle room there. All right, Jay Summers. Yeah, let me know if you got that Pope. Okay, let me see if anything's going on in general. Case sensitive. Oh yeah, case sensitivity on ETH addresses do not matter. Yeah, that's part of the public private key protocol. Otherwise, it would be a huge mess. People would be losing everything. Juxon, hey man, you got the Pope. Awesome. All right.
What's going on, Juxon? Sorry, guys, I'm being quiet. A lot of background noise at the moment, but
no,
what did I miss, dude?
No, you're good. You're good.
I know I missed a lot, but don't want to interrupt the flow.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, looks like people are getting it, and I man doing the dishes. Let's see. Pope was smooth as silk. All right, Alan, appreciate it. I want to see the hens on the call one day.
It's not a bad idea, dude.
Dude, you're prepared for the apocalypse, dude.
I can set up out there in the hen pin, dude. Yeah. That's probably be a better idea. Let's see.
Hold on. I haven't paid enough attention to the chart, but is there any scenario in which we burn Gears token? So I guess that's something that we have to decide. Essentially, if we're burning tokens, that generally means you have an infinite supply. It's not mutually exclusive, but it generally it leans towards that. If you have an infinite supply, you want to burn tokens. We can't really know for sure if it makes sense to have an infinite supply, so I think we're going to attempt to do it with a cap supply. Mm-hmm. And with the cap supply, instead of burning, you're recirculating back to the treasury, which the treasury will end up taking over, paying all the nodes into the network. Because right now, let's say there's 1 billion tokens, and we do an airdrop plus whatever it is, and there's 10 million in circulation. So via the smart contract, based on activity and based on all these factors, there's an entrance of, let's say, 100,000 tokens on a weekly basis or something like that. And so once we reach that cap, then we're going to depend on the treasury to start paying all the nodes. Aaliyah worked. Okay, so got the Pope. What should I do to get the Pope? Make sure you DM the MetaZone bot, and the password is tokenomics. So there's quite a few of you on the calls. make sure you DM the bot, and you need to have MetaZone assets to actually acquire this, I believe. All right. Yeah, really good questions. Okay, let's see. Anything else? So the main gameplays is between the smart metas and the Rovi metas. Now the DAO Treasury, spend ETH or gears to get metas, Rovies, and glitches. We haven't really talked about glitches that much, but I think you know how we added sort of a degree of, let's say, complexity, but also a new degree of ability to earn. We're adding a second degree of complexity plus a second degree of an ability to learn, where in the PvE arena, you're battling the computer, you're battling glitches. And so we said, well, why not have the community own these glitches and upgrade the glitches into potentially bosses? And so one additional thing that you can acquire are glitches. And so these are going to be generally inexpensive. And the idea is that you would delegate them to a PvE arena. And the more that you delegate to that PvE arena, the higher your chances are that you would kill a Rovi and therefore be allocated some, beat a challenge and then be allocated Gears tokens. So you are the hero, you are the enemy, you are the host, and the game is distributed. And so, yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for? All right. Man, that's a lot of stuff.
It is, but it's I guess this is like the baseline of like understanding that needs to be understood across the board, like how like the ecosystem just has a lot of different entry points, right, to participation. Traditionally, like play to earn is just you play, you receive reward, right? Yeah. But not many ecosystems are faced with the challenges that, what it is we're attempting to build.
Yeah, we like to make things hard, right?
I guess so. So we have to consider a lot more different variables, right? And because of that, we're working with a token where the purpose is to support this ecosystem, and it's being allocated to all multiple actors that are doing different things. Yeah. Like then there has to be balancing considerations. Like, it might be more difficult for like an owner of let's call them dumb metas, because we separate them, right? We have dumb metas and smart metas. Smart metas are ones that have the smart contract capability for in-app purchases to occur, right? So it's like there's not much question as far as understanding how does a smart meta owner receive the reward for providing, the service of hosting it, right? It's just it's already built into the ownership of that meta. Whenever you own something that's categorized as a dumb meta, it's not dumb in the sense that it's not functional. It's a very functional meta, right? PvE and PvP battle arenas.
Yeah, in the grand context of things, it's not as smart as the smarter ones, right?
I guess so. Maybe it's like it's like a dangerous terminology just for that misinterpretation.
Yeah, because there's definitely a building that doesn't do anything. That would be a dumb meta, right? That's fair to say, but these are not that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's a little harder to understand because there isn't any in-app purchasing happening within this dumb meta ecosystem. So yeah, it's going to be a different, I guess, earning scenario. Like how do you get your piece of the pie, basically? Like everybody's participating in this ecosystem, but everybody's getting different allocations, right? And it's being distributed based on different criteria, right? And it's not like a flat thing across the board. Like it's not like everybody wins an arena match and like some token is distributed, right? It's like not that dumb of like an economic model. Like there's a lot more to consider. Yeah, basically. So yeah, like understanding that from the beginning is that's step one.
For sure. We got a question here from Green Chauffeur. How autonomous is everything like the payment splits? Yeah. So that's what we've been testing over the last week. It's been pretty fun watching the test just internally, and pretty soon we'll have you guys test this out too. But But we've been playing around with these smart contracts that Oscar's been editing, and we've been sending test transactions, and those test transactions have been accurately split. And so that's why there was a delay on the reinforcer, because this reinforcer NFT, whenever you interact with it, has to call our new smart contract that automatically splits the gears token. So let's say it's 100 gears or whatever it is to upgrade your Rovi. And so as, let's say, Iman is the meta owner and I'm the landowner and he's delegating to me, that 100 gears in this particular scenario would be split 50-50. And so 50% would go to Iman and 50% would go to the landowner. And so that is done automatically. So we can either do one of two things. Since this is on Polygon, we could pay the gas and just have that automatically distributed, or you just accrue it onto your account on MetaZone, and then you just you claim it, and then it depends on what's easier, like for the devs to kind of decide. All right, let's see, or maybe have a preset defensive action. So hold on, good one, Greenshfur. I would actually ask about the metas. Can you routine schedule them for like basic stuff? Routine schedule them? Like how do you mean? For when you attacked? I'm not sure I understand. Would we have governance proposal to decide on split percentages? I think that's a possibility. And so we would use this application called Snapshot. And it's basically a free way to govern a community with tokens. So yeah, we'd leverage that. I'm not sure if the split tokens make sense, or the percentage adjustment from the community makes sense, because it's more about making it sustainable. So, but we'll see. I mean, anything's possible. All right. Can you be attacked if you're not connected? Oh, no. So this is like, think of you delegate your Rovies to a player, or you play yourself, and you go into the PvE arena and you battle glitches, and those glitches are completely autonomous. They're the computer. You own the computer that attacks the Rovies, and so you don't need to be active as an enemy. You just have to own and delegate the enemy to a particular location. And so the more active, so that's why if you have a PvE arena, the more active your PvE arena is, the more likely people are going to delegate glitches to you, so that there's a higher chance that one of the glitches ends up killing your Rovi. And so yeah, that's the whole idea. Could you be, if you wanted, be the villain? So, I mean, technically, if you have Rovies, I mean, you can acquire glitches, and then you're sort of both. And so you can kind of mine in both directions there. Alan, so you need an asset. Yeah, that's correct. So Piggy King, yeah, you need an asset on MetaZone. So basically, to get an asset for free, I'll link this location. You have to jump into Decentraland. And then jump into Corona Zombies. Man, I can't jump out. Jump into this, and you'll get an asset. Or go to the nearby location and get some free food. I believe this, you still get some food here. There you go. All right. You can call in. You could call me Chaba. The hell is that? Do you know what that is, Iman? PV Arena owner.
Chaba?
Yeah.
I see a.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Is that Chewbacca?
No, that's not. That's something else.
Damn it, dude. That's you should know this, dude. This is
Chaba
Star
the
Wars
Hutt. No,
lore.
negative, dude.
There you go. Chaba the Hutt.
Chaba the Hutt. You know what?
Don't look to me towards movie cultural lore, dude. That's not gonna happen, dude. I don't know.
You know what? I've never been a fan of Star Wars. It never clicked for me, dude. I don't know what it is.
It's Chewbacca. Damn it, dude. I'm ashamed. That was bad.
Yeah. I'm not that ashamed. That it's yeah. Yeah. So okay. Let's see. All right, just reading the chat. Has it been decided on how much liquidity will be in the initial Gears ETH or Gears USDC pool? That's a good question, P-Dub. P-Dub is thinking ahead for sure. So, of course, we're going to incentivize the community to contribute to the liquidity. And so you'll be able to mine additional Gears tokens if you're a liquidity provider. So for the whales out there, that's a juicy proposition. But yeah, of course, we're going to see what we can do to provide our own liquidity, or either use the Delphi Digital smart contract that we kind of referenced in the past lately, where we have the community kind of discover the price of this token. And so it's sort of through this lock drop mechanic. And so that smart contract is available. We can just use it and have the community decide what price the Gears token should be. And then we go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely the next big endeavor, I think, because I think like we have to roll out more pieces to the game, and then we could probably, I believe we want to do like a testnet version of like the full rollout of the Rovi ecosystem, but it's not going to be like as impactful as like actually testing out the game ecosystem with the real on-chain token, right? Because we know like real on-chain value kind of like changes the behavior of everybody within an ecosystem. But still, it's probably a good idea for us to roll like an alpha version.
Sure.
To test out more like gameplay.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about that, dude. So
yeah,
what we're gonna do is for the Testers Guild, you're gonna have, once this game is available and like distributed, you're gonna be the first ones to play. But the token won't be live yet. So we're going to be testing like the actual mechanics of the game first. Mm-hmm. And so you guys will have a kind of like a head start in understanding like how to get started. And then we'll launch the token and really start this ecosystem.
Yeah, you'll probably be earning like Rikki tokens or something, most likely.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out the total logistics, but we need to make sure all the meta connections are working like butter before we roll out the real token. But through this process, like while all this is happening, we definitely need to be ramping up like as far as like a liquidity provision strategy. Just whenever they were ready for the real token, there should be no issue as far as like making sure there's enough liquidity to support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean I don't know how much SEC implications are when putting a price to a token, which there are some, but I don't know how heavy they're going to be on this stuff. But there are ways to allow the community to decide what the price is in like a completely distributed, decentralized way. So there's really nothing anybody can do about it. So that's what we want to kind of lean towards. But someone has to provide liquidity in one way or another. So, I mean, we
it's
have
going to be us.
Yeah.
And a mixture of the community, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. So we got Pope problems. If you need a Pope, either jump into this arena here called Corona Zombies and give it your email, and then create an account with MetaZone, or make sure you have an account with MetaZone and step onto this parcel over here to get some food, which counts as an asset, which is free. Then you can get the Pope. All right, so everyone's waiting for the giveaways. We're going to be giving away 3 Rovi accessories. Let's get that started because we are running out of time. All right. Okay, so give me a second, guys, and I'll get this thing going. All right. Okay. All right, setting this up. I'm going to do 8 minutes. Giveaway. Okay, 3 winners. Okay, 1. Okay. The bot should have popped. Okay, yeah. Go to the channel called giveaway and then interact with that bot. And then you'll be entered to win one of 3 Rovi accessory NFTs. So this is important. These accessories directly help you generate some Gears tokens themselves. So you would have to delegate that to a Rovi. So we'll have to decide what we do. Either you delegate that to an owner, and then the owner decides which Rovi gets it, or you delegate that to a Rovi, which I think that might be a little bit more complicated. So we'll have to think through kind of like the user experience for that. Yeah, Tariqa, you have an ETH accessory. Yeah, so that can generate some revenue for sure.
P-Dub. Oh, see you later tomorrow. That was a great call. Follow up. Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming. P-Dub has a good question. Can you go into more detail on how the community will raise liquidity?
Okay, so the common way to do this is, well, we have one option, which is the Delphi Digital Lock Drop mechanic. It's kind of complicated because it's new, but it's really not that complicated. Probably in another call we'll go through it. But the other way to do it is you incentivize liquidity provision by having some sort of like high APY yield. So if you, let's say, just to give an example, you put in 1,000 MetaZone tokens. Let's say one MetaZone tokens, Rovi tokens. 1,000 Rovi tokens is $1 each. So you have to provide 1,000 Rovi tokens plus 1,000 USDC. And then you would get like, I don't know, 200% yields. So if you leave it there for a year, you should walk away with, what is it, like $3,000 worth of tokens just by providing liquidity. $3,000 worth of Rovi tokens. So that will incentivize the community to contribute to the liquidity. And then all of a sudden, you can trade that token on Polygon or Uniswap or wherever. So it's pretty common. It's a standard protocol. Why don't we send the code, please? So yeah, this is interesting. We got the Pope cartel returning with a vengeance, man. I wonder what correlates. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. It's interesting.
Is it still a limited supply of POAPs to 50?
No, it's 100. It's 100 this time.
Okay.
I don't know what. Yeah, they're not very consistent, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see any questions here. Would you take into consideration whitelist the community to buy Gears tokens prior to release? We're not going to sell any Gears tokens. That we haven't even discussed that, but we're definitely not, because it's a minefield of hand slapping from the SEC. I don't think we're going to be doing any pre-sale for Rovi tokens. This is completely like community driven. The only thing that's like weird is who's going to be providing liquidity. It could be the team, it could be the community, it could be both. Like, that's the only thing in question. Tariqa, I don't really understand this Pope thing. Neither do I. These Pope cartels are mining these popes, and I feel like it's largely fruitless. Let's see. Yes. One question: will we have a volume in OpenSea later? Well, you could check the volume right now for all the Rovi assets. There's a lot of trading right now. Even P-Dub was mining, like basically sweeping everything for a while there. There's no indication we'll be using them for raffles. Yeah, so sometimes we do use the popes for raffles, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're one of the Pope cartel, like, I feel like it's largely fruitless, because even if there's a Pope raffle, you still have to register. And so if you're not registering and you have like 1 million popes, you're not going to get anything. So yeah, I don't get it. Oh, the Pope password is tokenomics. Go ahead and get it, Volpixie. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We don't have too much longer. The Giveaway should be ending in 3 minutes. All right. So let me go back to the article here. Okay. I want to see if I missed anything. So we have the players. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. The hosts, that's the new thing. Smart metas, Rovi metas free to play. The DAO Treasury Marketplace in conclusion. Okay, yeah, so let's just go over this one last time. Earning potential of distributed play to earn game. So we have 5 ways listed to earn tokens. One way is delegating Rovies to players to complete Rovi challenges in the PvE and PvP metas. So that's the standard way to earn, right? You have a Rovi, play the game, earn. Delegating a glitch enemy into a PvE meta and earn when a Rovi is defeated in combat. All right, so that's the glitch way to earn. Delegating metas to land hosts to complete Rovi meta challenges with visitors. That is the host challenge way to earn. Selling game acquired loot. So basically, if you're acquiring this loot, you can move that off-chain asset to on-chain, sell it on OpenSea, for example. And you can upgrade weapons, craft accessories, and then emotes. And then last here is when Rovi owners interact with smart metas to upgrade or craft, a portion of the gear's payment is distributed to the land and meta owner. Yep. Hopefully that's clear. I mean, there's tons of ways to earn, and there's a wide spectrum of cost to these assets. So we want to make it accessible to everybody to be able to earn in this distributed game. Who's Dahlia? Yeah. So Dahlia is, well, she's actually been around for a while, but she's now a full-time member of the team. Let's welcome Dahlia. So we can have her on the call pretty soon too. All right, Dahlia.
You push that clap button, dude.
There it is.
Perfect timing.
All right. Let's see. I think we are moments away from this drop. In a few seconds. Here we go. All right. So in a few seconds, somebody's going to win. 3 people are going to win a Rovi Accessory NFT. Okay. All right. So hopefully this makes sense. Man, any other thoughts? I think I've covered pretty much everything. Like, this is purely like a technical kind of tokenomics discussion, but single most important thing about Rovies here.
It is, like I said, it's foundational. It's going to be most likely how the entry level, again, like trying to understand the purpose, the value being created within the ecosystem. Like, you must refer to this diagram in order to at least get an intro perspective on where everything is headed. So yeah, we needed to share this with you guys first. So you guys, need to be informed before like the mass audience does, like what it is our intentions are as a community to build this ecosystem, because it's going to take a minute, and it's in the process now with the whole Oracle distribution method that's going on right now. So I believe, I don't know if you update everyone. I'm not sure what the status is on the reinforcer airdrop, if that's A-okay'd at this point.
No, well, there's a delay only because we've been testing the smart contract that connects to it. So that's the delay, but it'll happen.
Okay. So with that reinforcer airdrop is, again, like the proof of what I'm speaking about, like the distribution of the game content, which according to these graphics these are the Rovi metas and smart metas, right? So the process is happening now. It's going to continually happen over the next coming months. Yeah. You can definitely still position yourself by becoming an Oracle. I think it's becoming a little more and more difficult to do that because like some of the critical assets are kind of like, being taken out of the market. Yeah. But that's kind of the point. Like at this stage, it's very early. So it is going to be an exclusive class to be an Oracle because, there's a tremendous benefits to that. Yeah. Right. But man, it's going to be interesting. Like to me, this is like the kickstart to the whole damn shebang, Mm-hmm. Like not so much just like a PFP project with a vision of a play to earn ecosystem. Now it's like, the play to earn ecosystem is rolling out at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we got winners. Let's see who they are. We got,
my bad, dude. I totally cut the winners thunder.
No, you're good. So we got Aaliyah, Pepe God, and we got Bitcoin Fever. All right, congrats, guys. So make sure you DM me your ETH address, and then we'll get those accessories out to you guys.
Congrats, dudes.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. All right, so yeah, we covered everything we wanted to cover. So hopefully, if there are any questions, definitely kind of go through this article. It's not too bad. It's definitely a little bit in depth, but it's digestible. Yeah, if you have any questions, read through this article. We'll be back same time next week, answer more additional questions. There's going to be additional updates. Hopefully by that time, we'll have the reinforcer distributed, and we'll kind of move forward with the hologram meta, which is a big deal because finally you'll be able to see your Rovi in Decentraland. And so that really starts to heat things up a little bit. Okay. All right. So that's everything. Congrats to the winners. We'll be back next week, and I appreciate you guys for showing up today.
Take it easy, everyone.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.